Can I start identifying as a 6'4" fucking?
If you can, let me know.
Right?
Danica Film for Pro Boxing fans. We're in Barnsley. It's open workout day. Callum Simpson, Zach Chilly, Dave Coldwell. Good to see you. How's things?
Very good, mate. Really good. Great turnout here. It's like absolutely brilliant. You know, good atmosphere. Can you imagine what it's gonna be like on fight night? It's gonna be brilliant.
I would dare say at least 90% of these people are here for Callum Simpson.
Only 90.
Like there's a few Joe Laws fans here as well. We'll come on to that. But a lot of people, when it was announced that Callum would be fighting at Oakwell, sort of a few eyebrows raised. 7,000 tickets supposedly done. Big turnout here. How do you think, first of all, that'll affect him? Do you think that puts an extra layer of pressure?
I've just spoke to him. It's cool as a cucumber. The thing is because he keeps his feet on the ground. He's still the same kid as when he was coming through boxing on small shows before anybody knew who he was. He's still the same kid, and I think because of that and because of his team, they're all Mark Curley and everything. They're all down to earth people. I think he's just going to enjoy it. It's like he's just walked in here. He looks like a superstar. The kid, he's got all the build up and the media behind him and Sky Sports juggernaut behind him, but he's still the same kid, and I think that's very, very important.
Boxer and Sky are putting a lot behind Callum, promotionally, financially, I'm sure as well. I've heard Ben Shalom say he feels like he can be like a sort of Josh Warrington-esque figure in terms of the ticket seller in the northern part of the country. That said, Zach Chilly represents a big step up in class from the level he's been operating at. How big a test do you think Zach Chilly will pose? We've all seen he's tried and tested at that domestic level, but do you think Callum Simpson has the making of it or the beating of him on Saturday? It's
a very good fight. It's one of those fights where, listen, in Zach Chilly, he's really, really confident in himself. We all know how he feels about himself, his abilities, levels he can reach in the sport. Now he's won a British and Commonwealth title, that confidence is going to grow even more. We always say it adds percentages onto fighters confidence-wise when they become champions. So he's going to be even more belief, even more confident. And in Callum, he's always got that inner belief anyway. He just sees it as it is. Don't forget, this is a guy that goes out and spars with Berta BF. Right? Even though he's inexperienced in fights, this kid kills out repeatedly to go and spar with Berta BF. Not just for one camp, he's been asked back. Now that's the key. Anybody can get a call, and because they fit a certain dynamic and size-wise and gives them a certain look, and then they think, superstar thinks, I'll use him for a sparring session, use him for a camp. And if they're not good enough, they get a sack. To get called back for the next fight and so on, that tells you what they think about him as a fighter. That must mean that he makes Berta BF work, because you don't fetch somebody over from the other side of the world just to beat up and smash. You can get anybody, locally. It's cheaper. To do all that, it means that he gets good work. So he's got qualities in him that we perhaps haven't seen yet in a fight. It's just putting that experience and calmness in, because sometimes it can rush his work a little bit. But when he slows it down a little bit, he picks his shots really, really well, and he delivers the power really, really well. And that's what I feel he has to do in this fight. He has to use his reach. We saw with Jack Cullen, he didn't use his size. He didn't use his jab. And in Chilly likes to just sit, wait at range, and then raid in. And he can be guilty in rushing his shots. So it depends on who gets their style off and who implements their game plan.
Sorry folks, no prediction from Dave Coldwell today.
I'll lean towards Callum, because I think that he's smart enough to use his jab as well, because he likes to fight on the inside, but he'll use his jab. He'll use his jab and his straight shots at range that'll keep Chilly working. So Chilly can't just stand still and get his gas back. He has to keep working to avoid getting touched. And then when he slows things down, picks his shots up a little bit.
Dave, want to get your thoughts on the other show Saturday night, Riyadh season, LA sponsored, really stacked card. Top of the bill, Terence Crawford. First of all, before we come on to the fight with Madrimov, where do you rank Terence Crawford in terms of pound for pound?
Top. It's a bit of a mix and match. You see one, it's that you keep changing your mind. It's got to be top three, if not number one. And
most people have him big favourite against Israel Madrimov.
He's a big favourite. Madrimov's very, very good. Just because people haven't, on the broader spectrum, haven't seen him yet, doesn't mean that he's not a hell of a fighter. He's brilliant. I was ringside when he won his title. Up close, he's special. And he's also the best fighter at 154. Yeah. Tell me a better fighter at 154.
You got Ortiz, not really proven at the weight. Tim Tszyu, unfortunately, against Pandora.
I think Madrimov beats Tim Tszyu. So I think he's going in right at elite level. If he was to beat Madrimov, wow, then you're talking about a man that lightweight, super lightweight, welterweight, light middleweight. Wow, you know, he's a legend as he is, but if he beats Madrimov, that just takes him to another level because he's going in at the top. He's not going in picking out the weakest guy. He's not going in having a little warm-up fight, see how I feel before I take on a big challenge. He's gone straight in.
Errol Spence was the man that it was built up for years, him and Terence Crawford. Billed as a 50-50 fight. Do you think Madrimov is going to prove to be a much tougher test than Spence was on night? A lot of people in hindsight are saying that wasn't the best Errol Spence Terence Crawford was in with.
A bit of that, but also what Crawford did. I always thought Crawford would take Spence apart. But Madrimov's a much physicality, athleticism, boxing ability, and the weight. It's his toughest test we had out.
One of the fights on the undercard I want to get your thoughts on. Big Burt McCauley finally getting his chance against Jared Anderson. First of all, it's always become this joke in boxing about like what Martin McCauley does in sparring. Have you ever actually seen McCauley in the gym?
Yeah, but years ago. I saw him sparring down at Team GB. It's the first time I saw him spar. I knew it was Makabu's brother. That's why I knew him. And I watched him. And I won't say who I saw him spar with, but I was like, fucking hell. He's an handful at anybody. And so I knew him from then. That's the only time I've seen him spar. But then obviously you hear Billy Nelson sparring stories, goes over the top of your head. But I know he's very tough, very good, relentless. If he's fit, then I think he wins the fight.
He beats Anderson?
Yeah. I think it's I don't buy into Anderson yet. I thought it was going to be, I believe he's a good prospect, but I don't think he's ready for something like McCauley yet. I think there's something missing in him.
A lot of people see it as like a mentality thing with Anderson.
Yeah. I don't think he's got that dog in him. I think he's a manufactured heavyweight.
Yeah, but
I think he's a big, you know, America's crying out for an heavyweight. This guy's a big fella, athletic. Right, let's say him. I said it in an interview before. He's giving me Michael Grant vibes.
What about Andy Ruiz, Jarell Miller? That's another one. It's going to be. I don't know what the combined weight in there is going to be.
I hope Andy Ruiz smashes him to bits.
That's what I wanted to ask about. Obviously, Jarell Miller's been, I think, to put it politely, a polarising figure over the last few years. Eddie Hearn's coming under a lot of flack because he was obviously said he would never work with Jarell. It was personal, and now like
he's a businessman. Everyone said, listen, we all do it in boxing.
Prime Minister.
We all do it in boxing. You know, we all do it in boxing. You say one thing today, and then next thing you change. It happens. That happens. But the only thing that I will say is that this was about how disgusted and how heartfelt it was about not one, but two, but three drug fails for hard shit. Not just a little amphetamine or a little fucking stimulant. Hard peds. I think Jarell Miller's, for somebody who's done what he's done, he still chats his shit like he's some, you know. Yeah, I'm not a big fan. And you know, he can be as thuggish and as ballsy as he wants. He had an opportunity to fight Anthony Joshua in the biggest fight of his career, and he chose to cheat. That says a lot about the man.
I hate to go from one negative to end another one, but I want to talk to you about the Olympic boxing at the minute. It really doesn't seem in a good place. We've seen, personally I've not watched a lot of it, but I've seen a lot of people on social media complaining about some really bad decisions, and then you've got this issue with
it's been I remember LA Olympics. I think it was '84 Olympics. That was the one where I watched it all. I got all the athletics bit, got up, and then from then I started watching the swimming. And I've always watched Olympics. It's the first Olympic I said to you, I've not watched a minute of it yet, and I'm torn. Do I watch 100 meters? Do I watch that? I've just started watching that sprint on Netflix, me and my little boy. So I think we'll end up watching the 100 meters. But that opening ceremony just did it for me. It's not my thing. I think it just to use the Olympics for an agenda like that, which they are pushing on in kids in schools and shit like that. I hate that shit that's going on in schools. Right? I could go on and on and on about this shit. And you do what you want, not a problem. Identify as what you want, but there comes a line, and I think the line's been crossed. And where you're pushing on and trying to convince everybody something else. Convince everybody. No.
With that, I need to be careful how I phrase this. We've got the Algerian athlete who's been competing in the female division. Did you see today the Italian fighter withdrew?
But people are saying to me, "Oh, actually, it wasn't born as a man. It's this, it's that." So, listen, I don't know enough about that situation, but in my opinion, in my life, as a 49-year-old man, I've been around a lot of decades, right? I'm not some kid that I don't profess to know everything. But in my experience, in my life, as a 49-year-old man, the way that I see things is you can say, if you want to tell me tomorrow that you're a woman, great. If you want to change your name tomorrow, great. No problem. I ain't got a problem with that. It's your life. Do what you want. But don't then try and tell me that I have to identify you as something else. Don't then tell me that I have to do this and I have to do that. It's my opinion, right? In terms of sport, physical sport, combat sport especially, it's a dangerous sport. Woman v woman is a dangerous sport. Man v man is a dangerous sport. If you was born with a set of bollocks, for me, you shouldn't be fighting a woman. And that's all. I'm not saying about this case because I don't know whether that's the case or not. But I'm in broad speak, simplifying it. That's how I see it. And call me archaic. This. Call it what you want. It's my opinion. I'm entitled to my opinion. Just like, all right. Where that's forced down your throat and everything like that, right? Can I start identifying as a 6'4" fucking?
If you can, let me know.
Right? And are you then going to treat me instead of fucking looking down, giving me a shove or whatever because you've got big physical? All of a sudden now it's like, oh, no, you can't. It's fucking bullshit. Don't matter how many times I tell you I'm 6'4" and I'm fucking 18 stone. It ain't fucking facts, is it? So it is what it is. If you're born with a set of bollocks, you shouldn't be fighting a woman. That's it. Everything else in shit or stuff like that, I'm not interested in. Do what you want, but you shouldn't be punching a woman. That's how I see it.
I'm not sure how we've got to the stage where that could be considered a controversial thing to say, but Dave, we'll wrap it up there. Appreciate you giving some of your time. We'll let you back to work in the lovely Barnsley. Thanks very much.
Cheers, mate.
Cheers, mate. Thank you.
6'4" and 18 stone. You standing on platforms again?